Welcome to the realm of magic and mystery, classic horror and sci-fi. You are now entering the House of the Unusual podcast with your hosts, Eddie and Joe. Welcome all you cool ghouls and friendly fiends to the House of the Unusual podcast. I'm your host, Joe Pavlansky. With me, as always, is the maestro of mail order mysteries, Eddie Guevara, and our good buddies, Chuck Caputo and Cheri Caputo.
Hey,
What's up,
right.
everyone?
Hello.
What's happening? What's happening?
All righty, man. Well, we're going to get this show underway. We are recording on November 23rd, so that means tomorrow, well, when everyone's listening to this, it'll be Thanksgiving. So we want to wish everyone a happy Turkey Day, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, there we go. Chuck's famous turkey call, man. If I start getting a bunch of turkeys around my house, they hear that. But yeah, it's a we want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and
Absolutely.
You know, we're definitely around here at House of the Unusual thankful for all of our listeners out there all over the world.
Amen.
Whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, we're still thankful for you and
Yes.
for tuning in with us. And we're hoping you guys have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you eat a ton of food. That way you fall asleep and then wake up and eat some more of those leftover turkey and mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So what's up, guys? I'm going to turn it over to Chuck and Cheri. And hey, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Same
Yeah,
here, Joe,
happy
same here.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we made a stop last week. I posted some pictures on the forum to the Baronhof Museum / mansion, and
Yeah, that place looked cool.
oh,
Oh, my.
Joe, you would have loved it. You know, you really got to go there. And if there's any listeners that want to come out there, it's just outside of Pittsburgh. It's in Sharpsburg.
Above Sharpsburg, O'Hara Township.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in O'Hara Township. It's off of Route 28. And I'll tell you what, this was built by, like he was an eccentric millionaire.
His name was Charlie Brown.
Yeah, his name was Charles Brown, and
Nice.
and his desk has a plate that says King Chuck. But anyway, this place.
Oh,
had-
you should have got that. I hope Cheri
no.
got it for you.
There's cameras everywhere. I would have ripped it off.
No, but I'll tell you what, I think I forget exactly how many rooms he had. Maybe it was like 20 rooms or something like that. But he collected old wind up turn of the century like type of
Musical
machines that
instruments.
played music,
Yeah.
like the old kaleidoscope type of things. He even had violins that played themselves. It was just unbelievable. And there's hidden rooms, like this one button that you push, it'll swivel a doorway that takes you into a cave. He had a plexiglass cave built, almost like a
plaster
plaster type of a cave with an animatronic bat. And it was just something to see. He had up in the top part of the attic, like an observatory, with a powerful telescope. Yeah, and it was just unreal. And the tour took over 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
But it was really, really neat. And we did put a video up. It was only about 6 minutes. Cheri captured about 3 little segments, and she spliced them together. And it was really, really amazing. And Cheri, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh, that's all you got to say?
No, I was just amazed at when you went through these different doors and down these real steep circular stairs that you ended up somewhere. You don't know how you got there. And then when you went out that other door, you were back in the foyer. And it was like, whoa, how'd we get here?
Nice.
It was weird. It was wild. But it was very interesting. We would definitely want to go back again. They do decorate for Christmas, Alice said. That was our tour guide. She was awesome. And it just seems like a really cool place that you could go a few different times because there's so much to see. And I'm sure we missed so much at the first time.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I think my favorite room was the billiard room. I mean,
The last room. Was that the last
yeah, I think it was the last room we went to. There's a pool table in there that came from the movie with Jackie Gleason. What was that?
The Hustler?
The Hustler. Yeah, that pool table.
Oh, cool.
It's all hand carved and everything. And he had the big kaleidoscope that was playing the music and so forth. It was just a really, really cool room. If you watch the video, it's the first place. It's the first, the opening part of the video. It was really amazing. Yeah. So if you ever have a chance, Joe and Eddie, and if anybody else, would like to come out, check it out. Baronhof, Bayernhof.
Yeah, I
Baronhof.
definitely have to check it out. The video was really cool, and it looks like there's a lot to explore there. So that's another thing on my long list of stuff to do and to go see.
Yeah, and you know what, Joe? I never heard of it. It's Cheri's friend who's a nurse also. She said there's this place we really should check out. So we scheduled off. I could have booked the show that day, but I actually turned it down. And I said, yeah, let's go out and check it out. And I am glad I did. It was really really
Her
neat.
husband was there 9 times with Boy
Oh, wow.
Scouts and different places. Yeah, different people.
I
He
mean,
still enjoyed it.
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I like the place. Don't get me wrong, but would I go 9 times? No.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
I do know somebody that would go 9 times, and that's Eddie Guevara, because he likes to collect a lot of stuff, and so
Eddie
he'd get
wouldn't-
9.
Yeah,
He'd
they
get
wouldn't-
9 tickets. Ain't that right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would try to probably get one of the rooms with the secret trap door and hide my stuff there where nobody could see it, And then I would just go 9 times. Anytime I needed to get something out, I pretend I was doing the tour.
Oh man,
You
There
would
you
never
go.
get out of there, Eddie. I know you. They wouldn't be able to find you.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, if I lived in that place, I would be like a mole. I'd stay in there, shoot pool, play with the machines, and I'd like pop my head outside maybe once a year.
With your bad direction, you wouldn't even find your way out of there.
No, that's true. I get lost going around the corner. Yeah.
So Eddie, what's new over at House of the Unusual proper, man? What's good? What's in the works and what's going on?
Well, what I find really interesting is that we've gone up by almost 1,000 subscribers right now.
Woohoo!
It's crazy. It's going up on an average about 25 to 30 subscribers a day.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, if you guys take a look at that, it's almost at 3,000 right now.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's really, really amazing. But that's the thing that's really going on. And
Whoa, I was just clicking on the
that's
on the
exciting.
YouTube thing, and whatever, that's the one that some video popped up.
Yeah,
I was looking at the
It sounded
subscribers.
like you choked a cat.
Yeah, where's it?
What happened on the?
It's showing Eddie standing over something.
Oh, that's his opening. That's a cool opening.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very neat. He got
What
those
is-
sinister looking eyes, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is the number, Joe, right now?
Looks like we're at around 2,055 or 2,000. I can't see. It just says 2.55K.
That means
Some-
2,555.
Oh, nice. So there we go.
Yeah, thank
Wow.
you all the listeners. Keep it going. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
Before I went to Florida, we were at 1,670, something like that. So there.
Oh, nice. So it's growing pretty rapidly.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nice.
So we should be hitting, I think, if it goes like that in the next week or 2 or 3 weeks, we should be hitting 3,000 subscribers, which will be a good thing, because now what happens is the algorithm of YouTube, once it sees us get so many subscribers, it kind of makes us it makes our videos appear more. If you know, that's the way it works. YouTube, the higher your subscription thing is, the more that it pushes your videos out, because they figure people are watching it. So it puts you in a better, it's kind of like, let's say you went to visit Chuck and his wife and you took him a pie. Well, if they like the pie, they might invite you a second time. But when they start inviting you 2 and 3 times, it means that you're taking them a lot of gifts.
All right, make sure it's blueberry.
Yeah,
Blueberry
exactly
pie.
like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, Chuck, one thing that's funny about that, when you mentioned that the guy collected all those wind-up mechanisms and stuff,
Right.
I think I've heard about him. I don't know exactly if it was the History Channel
Okay.
or something, but I've heard of that, because one time I was inquiring about what do you call it, about vending machines, but because I always loved vending machines.
Oh, you and me both, Eddie. Wow, I love vending machines too. I don't know why. It always appealed to me.
I have at least 6 or 7 original vending machines that you would put in stores, with like the 25 cents and the
Wow.
50 cent
We
vending
have a couple
machines.
of
But
those.
my favorite were the old-fashioned arcade machines,
Oh
like
yeah.
fortune tellers, and I used to
Ooh.
ones that had the rifle on it. that you would shoot the metallic ducks in the bottom.
Yeah.
And that's been really interesting. And by the way, I want to ask you guys a question because I've been obsessed with this the last 2 or 3 days, looking for something, because I'm beginning to wonder if it was a different dimension in time where I saw this. But anyway, prior to the fire that I had in 1995, I remember a game that I had that I can almost swear that Don Adams, who played Maxwell Smart, was the guy who used to run the commercials for this game. Now, everybody knows Don Adams from the Skittle Shootout, Skittle Bowling.
Sure.
He always would come in, or there was a part where it was a Western. He would walk in the saloon, and then
I remember that. Yeah.
But this one that I'm talking in particular is a basically a square game, okay? But instead of like it would have a pendulum on the corner. So you would take a square, and in one of the corners, actually two of the corners, you would put a pendulum. And then what it would do, it had a target in the center. And the target looked like the one, the Target, the store. It looked just like the emblem from the store, but it was it looked like a clam. In other words, it was bent in the center, right? And it would travel across from one corner to the other one, diagonally across the game. And your thing was you had to hit the pendulum on each side, the little ball pendulum, and it would shoot a ball, and you would try to hit the target. And if you hit it, it would flip it over. And if you flipped it over to the other player's side, you would score. And the target will keep going around and around. This game, I had it till like 1995 when it the fire, whatever, destroyed it. It appeared, I think, like in 1997 or 98, one time in Yahoo or web. Back in those days, it wasn't Google. They had either web crawler, Alta Vista, I think it was Alta Vista search engine. And there was another one called Yahoo, right? So Yahoo's still around, by the way, and so is web crawler. But what it was is I put a search on it, and it showed the game. I could have sworn it was called Skittle Shootout.
That does sound a little familiar. It sounds vaguely familiar. I do remember Skittle Pool, of course.
Oh, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a bunch of them. But when you put a search, like literally I've had my brother, my brother-in-law, my brother in Florida, my brother-in-law, trying to search the game. It doesn't show up on any type of search. The funny thing about it, when it did show up in Alta Vista, it was about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch or an inch tall picture. I printed it out. I'm hoping that somewhere it shows up. I remember the name was not exactly Skittle Shootout. It was something different. But the point is, I'm beginning to wonder if the game ever existed. I mean, I played it all the days of my life. I used to love it as a kid, but now it's become like.
Wouldn't that be something if it's just your imagination?
Imagine that. That's what.
I
know I played it. I played it because my brother says, "Yeah, I remember you had it under the bed."
Yeah, this might be the Twilight Zone. It's submitted for your approval. We're in search of a game that may not exist.
Yeah, that sounded good, Chuck. But the whole thing is that my brother goes, "Yeah, you had it under the bed. I remember it." But I'm like, yeah, well, you remember it. I remember it. My brother-in-law one time told me I had it. So the point is, what's the name of the game?
Maybe you were all in the Twilight Zone. I don't know.
I think so, man, because you put on any type of moving target, you get Aurora games. I tried Aurora, Mattel, Hasbro. I tried Milton Bradley, and so far, nothing showing up. Skittle Bowling, and I know Maxwell Smart would walk in and he starts shooting at the target. So I remember the commercial, but you know what is my boss in work today? He saw me. I spent like 4 hours last night trying to search the game, and nothing would come up. And my boss goes to me, Eddie, I remember his name is actually Love Lalino. It's kind of hard to pronounce. He goes, I remember they used to have a commercial that they would sell Love Lalino jeans. And he goes, I've been looking for that commercial, and people don't believe me. He goes, I go to him, it's funny because I think I heard that as a kid. It was around the era of La La Sassoon. Remember when they had,
there it is.
Twilight. But anyway, if any listener out there can remember and help me out.
Yeah, maybe somebody had that.
What year was it? What year was that, Eddie?
I like the year was I got it like in 1975,
Okay,
But so
74,
70s.
okay, early
and I
70s.
lost it in 1995.
Oh, on the fire, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, Cherry. It actually, it's like Joe's playing there. The music is definitely one of those.
Yeah, we're in the twilight zone, that's for sure. I don't know.
But anyway, that's the latest, Joe. Everything's good. Obsessed
Awesome.
with
Sounds good, man. So what's everybody's plans for Turkey Day this year? I know some of my plans got ruined. I got my
Hmm.
we're going to my sister or my wife's mother's house, but my sister's house where we usually go to see the nieces, they're all sick this year.
Oh,
that's
My
a
no.
sister, her
shame.
husband, and the kids. So that's kind of out. So I'm not sure really what's going on yet for Turkey Day. It's kind of up in the air now, a few places. So I'm kind of hoping almost. I told my wife if we end up just going to her parents and staying home in the evening, we're gonna check out that new Christmas Story Christmas movie with all the it's like the sequel to the original Christmas Story. I
Yeah,
thought, we'll check that out at night and
that'll be
kind of
fun.
just sit home and relax. So what do you guys got planned for tomorrow or Turkey Day or this weekend?
Us? Okay.
Chuck and Cheri. Yeah, we'll tell you.
Chuck
Yeah,
and
we'll see what you guys
Cherry.
got going. Yeah, because I know some people
you guys, come on,
yeah,
tell us.
'cause I know some people have Turkey Day actually on Thanksgiving. But other people,
Yeah.
if they have people traveling here and there, they'll have it on that Friday or even over the weekend. So what do you guys got going on, Chuck and
We,
Cheri?
yeah, we're actually going to go to a restaurant. It's a pretty swanky restaurant down near downtown Pittsburgh. We did this last year. It's called Grand Concourse, and
Okay.
it's like buffet.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it's going to be my family with my sons and their wives, and then my sister, her husband, and her one son. Her other son's in Atlanta this year, so but he'll be up for Christmas. So we're all going to go there again. They mentioned, hey, maybe we can go there again. That was pretty cool. Because at first they were thinking, well, because we're used to cooking or going to my sister's or whatever. But it was pretty nice time. So no cleanup. The
Yeah,
only
that's
the
nice.
only regrets is you don't have the leftovers. But
Yeah.
in the food, they have prime rib. They have all kinds of goodies for Thanksgiving. So how about you, Eddie?
I was gonna say, do they say when they see Chuck come in again, they'll say, "Hey, there's that turkey again with the curly hair coming in."
Yeah, they probably do. I tell you what, it's a pretty fancy schmancy place. They got
Pretty
like
nice.
yeah, they got chefs that cut the food for
Oh, it's
you,
real
and
nice.
Oh wow!
yeah, it's actually nice. You know what? Because like Sherry
And they
said,
don't rush you out. We're there for a few hours so we can digest and then
You,
have some dessert.
oh
And we
yeah,
have time.
you,
More fun talking and being with family.
yeah,
you know, you guys are an example of what people should do when they're retired,
right, really, yeah.
which is have fun, man. And
Yeah, and
and
enjoy
what?
family and
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And one thing I'm gonna tell you though, honestly, when you're talking about like places like that, I'm probably gonna go to my daughter's house. I usually work that day. This year I'm not working,
Nice.
so I'm gonna be going to my daughter's house tomorrow. Um, and probably I'm gonna be obsessed now with this game, trying to find it. And it's just and the reason, by the way, if people wonder why I'm obsessed now, it's not that it just came on me, is that my brother actually sent out to me, to my surprise. I received a box 2 days ago, and when I open it up, it's almost a near mint condition haunted mansion from Lakeside,
Ooh,
the
nice.
game that I lost in the fire. The last
Wow.
time I tried to buy one of these games on eBay, it went for like $376. I gave up. And so he sent me one, and I'm looking at the box. I'm kind of excited. So I went ahead last night on eBay, and I actually bought. This is kind of funny. I bought Tank Command, which was another game I had as a kid. It was a really decent price. Tank Command was a elongated rectangular game with four tanks in each side, and you move back and forth, and then you would pull a cord, and the tank would like blow up, whatever. And that only came out to like $15, which I was surprised with free shipping. And
Mm.
the box is in really good condition. And then of course, I'm bidding on a Which Joe. You know Which the game, right?
Oh yeah, I have one.
You okay? I had
Yeah.
one. I lost it in the fire, and to my surprise, they're going like for 100 and some bucks. There's one for 65, which I'm hoping they'll accept the bid, or but the point is that all the games like Which and stuff, man, they go for a lot of money. All the games we love, all that I like, and I have a knack for liking things that somehow they're worth more later on than when you have. But anyway, and I also got Voice of the Mummy's Tomb. I was able to get one for a really kind of decent price, and fully, even though I've been buying it in parts. At least I'm getting the game because the most important thing for me is a good looking box. Otherwise I really don't care. This one has a almost perfect box. And Voice of the Mummy, for people that don't know about it, it kind of has it's a game made of styrofoam, and it has 3 levels, like little stairs going up. On the top, it has a mummy sarcophagus, and then you put kind of like a jewel, it's like a snake coming out of the head, and then there's like a main jewel in the feet of the thing, and then when you press the thing, it would say, "This is the voice of the mummy." Go up. Well, anyway, I had that game back in the 70s, and I loved it. And this one guy that sells them for $1,000 each one, and he records them, which I don't know, that's insane. But the funny thing I wanted to say real quick about the game is one day, one of the cardboards that goes around the game was coming off, and I put some crazy glue on it, trying to. I did nice crazy glue, burns right through the styrofoam.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
I tell you, we had the coolest games, didn't we? Coolest toys back in the
we did,
60s and 70s. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what I'm fixated, trying to find this other one because it would kind of complete my collection, But anyway, that's what I've been doing. So go ahead, Joe.
So what do you got planned for Thanksgiving? Anything? You guys eating anywhere, or who's cooking?
No. My daughter, what happened, my wife is cooking half of the food. My daughter's doing the other half. So we're going to meet in her house tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I'm probably going to stay there the night with my grandson because
that's nice.
Forced me to be the play date tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. I bet that would be a cool time, man. You know what, with like a Cuban family, man, there's a lot of food and everything. I bet it would be great. Oh.
Well, I like one cake in particular called Three Milks, which is made with condensed.
Tres leches.
Yes, tres leches. And my daughter makes that, and she makes it pretty good because that's condensed. It's made with, it's basically what it is. So that Joe, in case Joe don't know, Joe,
I never heard of it.
Well, it's very popular. It's a yellow cake or white cake, whichever you want. Just like the one you buy in shop. I'm not shopping. Whatever store we have shop right here. I don't know what you have in Pennsylvania, Wawa, whatever. And you bake the cake. But what they do is they put in a plate, they put condensed milk, a whole can of condensed milk. They put a whole can of evaporated milk.
Oh, wow.
Like an 8 ounce of regular milk. And then they dip the cake into that. So it gets soaked up. And then, of course, they put the cream on top of the cake, whatever. So that's why it's called Three Leches, because it has all 3 milks in it. So it's really, really nice. It's
that sounds cool.
I mean, Cheri knows about it. So I'm sure.
I'm lucky I could get 1 milk here,
Yeah. Chuck, you had some at our church, remember?
I think I do remember at our church we had it.
Yeah, they had it. It was really good. It's not real sweet. It's really good.
Yeah, well, the thing I was going to say, Cheri, didn't you notice that Chuck came out a little rounder? There was a reason for it. And they were saying, who ate all the cake,
Oh, he loves sweets. He really does.
Yeah, I got to watch that, I could eat sweets. I got to watch.
He can't wait till he gets Banana Fosters tomorrow at the
Thanksgiving.
God. Yeah, they make it from scratch right in front of you. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I got to take 2 metformin.
Yeah, forget pumpkin pie. I'll be getting apple dumplings, and they have all kinds of goodies there tomorrow.
Oh my God! One thing I was gonna say. The reason it's not sweet like that particular cake, Cheri, is because it's a big cake. I mean, you make a cake into like 12-inch by 8 or 10 inches. When you dip a can of milk in there, like sweet and condensed and everything, it kind of absorbs it, so it distributes the sugar throughout the whole thing. It's not that sweet.
No, it's really nice.
Yeah. So you want some, Joe?
It does sound good, but I tell you what, my wife picked up today some pumpkin rolls for us, and I love, absolute fan of pumpkin rolls.
Those are my favorite, Joe.
It's
boy.
and I tell you what, one of her friends makes all like vegan pastries and all that. And these pumpkin rolls that this lady makes, I would, even if I wasn't vegan, I would take these pumpkin rolls over regular pumpkin rolls. They are absolutely delicious. They're so rich and so filling. Oh man, I told her, so you got to buy 3 of them. I said, we'll take 1 to her mom's house. I said, we'll keep 2 for the house. So I figured in my mind, I'm planning, okay, she's gonna take it to her mom's. I got 2 at the house for me. I could go to her mom's house, eat half of that one, and still have mine here.
You know, Joe, you know something that you just reminded me? Dr. Boyajin, one time I went to his office, and one of his daughters had baked a chocolate chip vegan cookie, whatever, and she put them into like packs of 5, and they were pretty large. They were like the size of your hand, and they were giving them away to their patients, right? And it was very thin, I guess, because it had vegan, and it was like no, I don't know, whatever it was very thin and crispy due to the fact of the ingredients. I guess the flour, it didn't have any flour. I don't know what it was made with, right? It was so good. I ate the whole bag by the time I got to the car, right? So I went back and asked for another one, but I kind of felt embarrassed. So I sent my wife to ask for one. Then the next, I got 5. Then I finally came up and I said, Doc, you got to make me some. So he made me a whole box. But man, can you eat those cookies, bro?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I make these. I can't remember who they're by. They're like kind of pre-made. They come in a pack of I think there's 12 in there, and you just throw them in the oven and bake them for 11. I put them in there for I think 12 minutes, and it comes out the outside a little bit crispy, but the inside is real soft. Just the perfect way I like them. And I tell you what, I could sit there and eat all 12 of them in one sitting. These are like the best chocolate chip cookies I have ever had in my life. I just absolutely that with a nice, glass of milk or orange juice. And
Chuck, why are you doing this, Joe? I'm hungry, man.
I know. Yeah. I'm about to go to my wife's working and say, hey, where's my pumpkin rolls at?
I don't.
What she got them sitting at work with her now. So I'm like, where's my pumpkin rolls?
Yeah, go over there and read a book because you can eat it while you're reading a book. She got the Barnes and Noble thing, right?
No, she's working at the vet today, but the vet office is right across from where I go have a cigar. So I'm like, man, I could go have some pumpkin roll with a cigar and coffee. I'm like, oh, that sounds really good.
Yo, it's bizarre when you mention cigars, man. The prices of those things are insane.
Oh, they're crazy, man. Cuban cigars are just but I tell you what, the price of even just regular cigars has gone up. And, I was thinking about that this morning when I got off this morning at 6. I was wide awake. I said, man, I feel like doing a little bit of reading. I'm reading this fantasy series now, The Wheel of Time. So I said, I want to get a little bit of pages done. I haven't had a chance to read in a couple of days. I said, so I'll go have a cigar, a cup of coffee and do a little bit of reading. And I was sitting there looking at it, and I said, man, even the price of these cigars, I said, even the ones that were considered cheap have gone up. I said, I can only imagine the Cuban cigars, how expensive they've gotten.
Joe, one of your friends called me up and they said, oh man, I don't understand. Is Joe going through some massive depression? I said, what are you talking about? He said, no, every time he smokes a cigar, I notice he's very sad. And I asked him why. He said, it's like $500, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's like smoking when my buddy told me about one of those bell keys, and then you text me. I said, oh my gosh, I said I got to put this one in like a safe or something and hold on to it. It could be currency when the world collapses, man. I got one cigar to make me king.
Yeah, that's true, man. Wow.
How many of those you still have, Joe?
I still have all of them. I haven't tried.
No, I'm talking about the Berkey's ones, the Bahiquis, what it was called.
There's I think there's one in there.
One or two. I told. Well, the whole thing is, it's funny though. It's crazy the prices of them, and it's insane the way prices are going everywhere.
Yeah, this is totally out of hand. You know what, Joe? You know what? Like even the cheapy cigars that I used to smoke, once in a while I still get them. Avanti. You know, they even
Oh
went up
yeah,
a lot.
I've had those.
Yeah, they
You,
they kind of taste like black licorice, but they even went up a lot. It's just ridiculous.
you know what's happening? I think this is what I mean. And the prices are going a lot, but I heard, or I read in the Wall Street Journal that due to the fact that gold is going down and money itself is inflation's there, people are turning to collectibles
Yeah,
as a way of investing, and that's why I think most of the collectibles out there, anything you want to buy on eBay, like if you were going to buy a 6 foot freaking Frankenstein original 6 months ago, you would pay say 500, 600. It's now reaching almost $1,000.
it's crazy.
Wow.
I don't know if people are paying it, but it's the prices are crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I think collectibles will always hold their value too. But I tell you what, I always laugh because I always picture when the world collapses, man, people are going to be looking for tobacco, coffee, and alcohol.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to be looking for a Spider-Man #1, but if you got a good cigar and a good cup of coffee, man, you could trade a lot for that.
That's
You
true.
know, Joe, this you can probably answer when you said things keep. I bought when I remember when I started my magic shop. Before I opened my official magic shop, I actually had a flea market, and it was like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we went on to graduated over to the magic shop. There was a guy selling comic books, and I bought the Death of Robin, the second issue, and I paid freaking $108 for it. That thing went down to like $2, man.
I was gonna say that's like
I don't know
a
about-
dollar book, man.
That would happen
Yeah,
to me.
I don't know how that holds its value, but I'll never
Hey,
again.
that's the story of my life.
Yeah, man.
Well, there's a lot of that going on, especially with the movies. A book, if a movie comes out with a certain character in it, the book shoots up, and then after all the hype dies down, the price of it will either stay the same or it'll die down, and you can find it cheaper. And I think there's a lot of people out there getting taken, for a lot of money because
Oh,
of the stuff that's happening, these movies coming out, and all the characters and everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a vicious cycle, man, in the world of collecting.
Oh, yeah. You never know what's going to go up or down. Hey, you know what? There's one thing I did want to mention. There's a series on Netflix that I've been watching. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yeah, I started watching that too.
Oh,
That's pretty
wow.
cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And there's even a few stories by H.P. Lovecraft on there, which is kind of neat. And yeah, you know what? It's a well written type of stories, and it's documented. It's really neat. So,
You
like,
know
if
what?
anybody out there
I've
hasn't
made
watched,
it. I'm on the third. Well, I'm on the fourth one, and so I've watched 1 through 3. But they all have a even though the stories that aren't specifically by Lovecraft, they all have a Lovecraftian theme to them.
they have a
if
nice
you've
thing.
noticed.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm very pleased. I've been watching these when Cheri goes up to sleep at night because I don't think she'd like these type of
No?
stories.
Okay.
I don't think so, but I could
I
show you one. But
Chuck, that started about 2 weeks ago, right?
yeah.
I remember, man. You just reminded me. I totally forgot about it. What is it called again?
The Cabinet of Curiosities, and the
And
guy
that's a
that came.
History Channel, right?
No, it's through Netflix.
Netflix, the
Yep.
Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yep. And the guy that came up with it is Guillermo del Toro, and he actually does the intro.
Because I
And
think there was a show like that, wasn't it, in the History Channel, that it was based out of New York City. It was a shop that was called like Curiosity something.
oh yeah, that was what was that we used to
The
watch?
oddities. We
Yeah,
used to watch the oddities.
Oddities,
yeah,
right?
Oddity.
What
That was
happened to that show?
cool. I think it just went off after a while. I don't think it. I think it just lost its popularity, but that was neat.
That's how I found.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of weird that it will lose its popularity, especially with I
Yeah,
mean,
that was such a cool show. That was
like that.
really neat. It was very informative, and that's around the time where Cheri just said she found the Trundle Manor out here in Pittsburgh, and she was looking.
Yeah, for something different for your birthday that year.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
around that time.
it was around that time, so that's how she found Trundle Manor.
and Joe is probably the one beside the door. Hey, can you let me in? No, we're closed. I just want to come in, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of Netflix, guys, I started a series the other day on there that's really cool. It's called Ancient Apocalypse with Graham Hancock. Have you guys checked that out yet?
No, I'll have to check that out. No.
What is it about?
He's a I got a few of his books. He's really good. He's a journalist, and he kind of studies like ancient kind of hidden history, but he goes to all these different, archaeological sites and investigates them with local PhDs and archaeologists and all that. And he kind of equates it back to the last ice age, but I think there's 8 in the first season. I just finished number 2 last night, and it's really cool to see all these. They did a this one maybe like a ritual site in India, high up on this mountain. Second episode was this huge pyramid in Mexico, and they take you like inside of him and everything. So
Ooh, that
it's
would be
really
neat.
cool to see all these
What was that? What
buildings.
was that called again, Joe?
Ancient Apocalypse.
Ancient Apocalypse. Okay.
Yeah, it should come up right on the. I found it when I was looking through. It said trending. I think it was under the trending now on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, I really I like a lot of that, hidden history and these,
Yeah, me too.
stuff
okay.
like that. And Graham Hancock's like he really gets into a lot of that, and he does so on like a very kind of like center of the road objective, journalistic approach to it.
Right.
And he doesn't discount it, but he doesn't count it. He just kind of gives you the evidence and what he might think that it could be or what others think it is, and you decide for yourself what you think could be the possibility of it.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That's right up my alley. I love it.
Joe, the History Channel had Mel Fitzger's, I think it was. I forgot the name of the show. What was it? You know which one I'm talking about? The Mel Fitzer on.
Are you talking about Brad Metzler?
Yeah, Brad Metzler. What was the name of his show?
Oh, I think it was Secrets Uncovered or something like that.
No. It wasn't Secrets Uncovered. It was something. But I used to love his shows, man. And I don't know why they only did like season 1. I don't even think they did a season 2. But if you go to the History Channel right now, they have the guys from the Oak Island Treasure. They have Aztec Gold. They have all this stuff.
Was it the Decoded?
Yeah, Decoded.
Yeah,
Decoded. Okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the most realistic. I mean, I really loved that, but I don't know what happened. They just stopped doing it. And the History Channel is filled with those shows. Right now, they have another one that's just coming out, which I think it's called. They still have the In Search Of, a new version of In Search Of. They have Files of the Unknown, which is William Shatner or something like that.
I did see a few of those. That was neat.
The problem with this, I don't know which one to stop watching, so I get obsessed trying to watch the different ones. But Joe, I wanted to mention something to you. Have you seen the new UFO one that's out there? It's something UFOs caught on camera, but it's really good, man. I think I sent you the last time a link to one of them.
No, Is it a show, like a documentary show?
Yeah, it's a documentary show, but it's really good. It's done like modern, like today type of thing. It's really, really good because it actually is showing a lot of the stuff the government was actually hiding, but it's real stuff that recently has come out in the papers, It's, I forgot the name of it right now, but it is in the History Channel. I'm going to send you a link last night because I started watching it and I'm like, oh no, man, I'm going to get sunk in by another show. I was watching a show. I don't know if you guys ever watched La Brea. La Brea is based on, there's a couple of scientists that have a time travel kind of hole that they come up with or some opening. And
I did see that. That was neat.
Yeah, so in Los Angeles, there's a big hole that opens up in the middle of the city, sucks in a bunch of buildings and people, and they go to the year 10,000 BC.
Right.
I don't know where they fiction it was 10,000 BC. Like they just picked the date, but they're going back and forth. It's pretty cool. The first season only had 10 episodes. The second season is gonna have 14. There's the winter hiatus right now, so they only show like 6 shows, and then on the 7th you gotta wait now like 2 months. But I got stuck with that, and my one that I can't wait for it to come out, the 10th season, is The Blacklist with Spader. Spade. Oh my god, I love that show, but I don't want to get sucked in. This is like a rabbit hole, man.
It's a rabbit,
yeah. You can't stop watching. Oh, when is the next episode? Oh, I gotta see it. I'll be obsessed like Joe with his old movies.
Yeah,
we've been kind of waiting for, what was it called? We like You, and it's we're still waiting for is that the 3rd season to come out? and they don't make these often. It's like sporadic. Yeah, this guy's a serial killer.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's called You.
What's that guy's name? Bagnum or?
I never heard of it.
Yeah,
What's his
I forget
name?
his name. He's a younger guy.
Yeah.
But if you search you'll see what I'm saying. It's really, really good. It's
Hey,
fantastic.
Joe, is that like Ancient Aliens, Ancient Apocalypse, or it's a little more realistic, unreal?
It doesn't get in it. No, it's different than Ancient Aliens. It's more history based, and it's kind of what it is it's uncovering sites where mainstream archaeologists kind of discredit it because it doesn't flow with their narrative or anything like that. But he gives a lot of factual information. And it's more based in kind of fact than theory, how Ancient Aliens is.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, because Ancient Aliens is really a bunch of baloney, I think. But let me ask you a question. Did you guys ever see, any of you guys, because I think both you and Joe and Cheri and Chuck, I think all you would be interested. There was a special, I think you can watch it on YouTube if you Google it. It's called Japanese Super Subs. There was a submarine, an actual Japanese submarine they found that actually was big enough to hold an airplane inside.
Wow.
Did you ever see that, Joe?
No,
That's really an exciting. Look it up. I think it's called Japanese Super Sub, and I mean this was like huge submarines that they had, and I think they found one of them or something. This was like during World War II. Wow! But I love that stuff, man. And there's one that I recently saw, which was really, really fascinating. I think I told Chuck about it. I'm not sure, but it was about the Russian sub that sank and 200 something soldiers died, which was called the Kursk.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, we did. And this is like it's a modern day documentary on it. And what I found most amazing is being told by the Russian soldiers that were actually on the sub or had been part of the thing. And I'm going to tell you something really fascinating. I looked and I saw as they were walking around Russia, like the different parliaments and stuff, and I said, wow, Russia, when you go to actually Russia, I don't know if this is reality, but this is what I saw in this show. The show was done like in 2021. It looks like, let's say, New York City in the 1970s and 80s. Like, the buildings and the way it's set up, their way of living reminded me, just like when we came, that you could see that Russia's kind of behind in a lot of modern day things like we are here, Right. I found that really interesting because it showed a real Russia, a real way of living. And then you understand exactly why it was that the soldiers died. I thought it was kind of like their neglect and stuff, but it was actually more like they were actually dead before they even got to them. And it's a sad story, but it's a really good episode. Joe, if you haven't watched it, look it up, man, because you're gonna love that show. It's about an hour long.
Yeah, thanks. More stuff that I need to add to my list of watching.
Well, I want to make sure you have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
we love you here, man.
Hey guys, so what's everybody's Black Friday plans? Anybody going out shopping through the rush of people and to put on their battle armor to go get a new TV?
No, we have a show actually.
Yeah, we have a show the day after Thanksgiving. No, we got most of our things online, I think. Yeah, gift cards. I don't want to go and get my face pummeled or something. I just Cheri has something. What is?
Sound making. We have the sound effects.
That's Thomas.
One thing I'm going to tell you guys when talking about that, I went to Target and they had some of the Black Friday deals on the side there and stuff. Yeah. And another thing I want to tell you is I've been looking at a printer that I wanted to buy now for almost like 8-9 months. And the printer's always been between $229 and $249. It's an HP printer. And I'm going to tell you guys the honest truth. They have the Black Friday deals in Staples online. And the printer, now what they're doing is they're selling you printers. They don't bring ink. So they tell you that if you want it with standard ink is another $20. So it's a catch. And I got to tell you, I bought a 65-inch TV 8 months ago, and I paid $298 for it. It's a Samsung. and it's a 65-inch 4K. And what I see are the same exact prices. I don't see any super deals.
You don't see any super
No.
So
deals.
don't
Yeah.
fall for that.
No.
I couldn't imagine how some people camp out like overnight, and I just couldn't do that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
You know what?
crazy.
I'd have pneumonia and my back would be out of place, and I just have to go right to the hospital. You know, it
Oh,
wouldn't
there's
work.
people that do that for days. That there's probably people camping out right now at
Yeah,
some of
I
these,
couldn't
these
do it.
stores.
Forget it.
Yeah,
But
that's
you know what makes me mad is that you see like at whatever store they have a TV regular price $300, Black Friday sale for $100, and it's like, what? Well, you're still making a huge profit on that. Why can't
Yeah.
you do that year round? You
Yeah,
know,
why
it's just,
can't they do it all the time?
yeah,
That's
the
right.
corporate greed is like crazy, and you really see it on Black Friday on how
Yeah.
much it is.
Yeah,
you
the
know what?
greed is through the
One
roof.
thing they used to do is, okay, only 10 TVs available. You know, come on, man. You
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah, I remember that when they used to have they would only say, "Hey, we only have 10 TVs available at this price," and
Yeah.
you know that's when people would murder each other to
Yeah,
try to
forget
get
it.
a TV for
yeah.
$10 off.
They had some fights at
Remember
Walmart.
the
Yeah,
Tickle
Walmart.
Me Elmo?
Walmart seems to be their breeding ground. You could get
Somebody had a VHS. So what is that called? A VCR over their head. They
Yeah.
hit him over the head.
yeah, a few years ago, you got
Wow.
slammed over the head with a
It's crazy.
VCR. Forget it.
Oh, that's nuts.
What
It
about
is
Tickle Me
nuts.
Elmo? Remember
Get
Tickle
it.
Me Elmo?
Oh yeah, that was people were going nuts for that, for the
Yeah.
Tickle Me Elmo, and then what? Then you know after probably a few months, their kids stopped playing with it and moved on to the next toy.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's how
Yeah,
it
they
is.
were. I remember that being huge.
yeah.
Could you imagine Tickle Me Chuck? Or Tickle Me-
I like
Hey,
that, Eddie. That's
There you go, Tickle Me Chuck doll.
Tickle me,
Yeah,
Chuck.
Aw.
Coming soon from House of the Unusual.
Yeah.
You know what's
Oh,
really
that-
funny? What's really funny about that? I seen in Target yesterday a Bob Vila. You know, is it not Bob Vila? Bob, the guy, the artist.
Oh yeah.
Ross.
Bob Ross.
Bob
Bob
Ross.
Ross.
They have a little bobblehead of him.
Yeah.
I swear I was almost gonna buy it. I don't know how much it was, but
Oh,
it
boy.
looked just like Chuck.
Yeah.
A miniature.
I couldn't tell you the people who've told me you look like Bob Ross. I've heard that for years.
Oh my god.
It must be the fro. I don't know.
Must be, honey.
It is, but it's so funny though. I saw it and it looked so much like you, Chuck, and I'm like, I don't know how much it was. I might still go back and buy it.
One of these days, I'm just gonna shave my head and shave the beard. I'll look totally different. Nobody will recognize
There
me.
you go.
You know, they're selling, if you guys go by a Target or something, there's some Targets still have the Elvira House of Mystery or something like that box. It's $49. It brings a t-shirt, a hat for like the cold, an action figure, an Elvira action figure, and like a pin, and another thing. It's like an emblem. It's $49, but that stuff is going already for $80 and $99 on eBay and different places. And I went to Target in Florida and I bought one, and I went to return it because it was extra large, and the box said large outside, but I think they put the wrong t-shirt inside. And when I went to return it and I returned it, it was sold out in every single store, and they weren't bringing it back. I go, what? So I went back to the store the next day, and I bought back the one I returned, you know? So, yeah. So I go to Target yesterday when I saw the Bob Vila thing, and I'm looking through the toys, and behind, like falling behind the counter thing, I found 4 Frankensteins of the big action figure ones. That there's everywhere you go, you only find what do you call it, the mummy and the werewolf, but you can't find the Frankenstein. And I have a review, I think comes out this coming Monday with it. I mean, but this is before I found. But yesterday I found and I grabbed them all. One of them was kind of open, so I left it there. But I got another Elvira thing that I found. This one is large, and I purchased it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna return the one I have for $49 that I bought because I don't want to pay for 2, you know. And then when I got home and I realized the thing is doing like almost 185, I'm like, what? I'm not returning this.
No, don't
I'm
return
gonna
it.
hold on to it and sell it.
Absolutely.
And the Frankensteins are going for almost 100 a piece now. So if you have a Target that might still have, because you guys were up in Pittsburgh and stuff,
Yeah.
so ancient up there, you know, that people might not be there buying it. You might be able to grab a couple of good finds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could go look and see.
Yeah.
And Joe, definitely for you, you should add them to your collection, man.
Yeah, I do have the Frankenstein, the Mummy, and the Wolfman, and I believe Dracula comes out in a couple weeks now. I think
Ooh.
there's a black and white version and a colored version, and then in January, I believe there's a coffin that comes out that goes with that figure. So
Are you serious? Now,
yeah,
when does the Dracula come out again?
I believe it's the first week of December, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
wow. So then I should be waiting right now in front of the store.
Yeah, probably.
Get your spot now, Eddie.
Yeah,
I
get
see
your
those.
spot
I see
now.
those. Like our Target has a ton of them, and I always see them. And it doesn't seem like anybody's ever buying them. They have all those NECA figures that are real articulate and detailed, and it doesn't seem like anybody's ever picking them up.
You know what?
I bought all the Godzilla ones they had. I bought the Universal monster ones, Pinhead from the Hellraiser, and I think about one of the Predator ones. But yeah, there's a ton of them out there, and the Michael Myers one from the new Halloween.
You know something? When I had the bill and I come up to the thing, it said $378. I go, oh my gosh! I was like almost crying. But I'll tell you one thing though, Joe. I got to tell you, in Florida now, Florida is so mostly Hispanics and stuff that don't know much about collectibles. And me and my brother, in order to find the Frankenstein, we went to about 7 or 8 Targets, and only one of them had 2 of them. And we got the 2, one for me, one for him. But up here, you don't find the Frankenstein. There's like 15 Targets next to me, and you don't find it in any. It's like gone, man. You find the Wolfman and you find the Mummy. You don't find Frankie baby, And then, I don't know if you noticed, that the Wolfman has and I said this in my review, has like a base, and the Frankenstein Mummy don't. What's that all about?
Yeah, I don't know. I do know the Mummy. If you could find it, and I haven't seen one of the stores, comes with there's a accessory set that's a Egyptian sarcophagus.
I actually got one, in Florida. I bought it up. I don't know I think it's in one of my reviews, Joe. I think.
Now, I don't know if there were any. I don't think there were any accessory kits for Wolfman or Frankenstein.
No, there's only the one.
The Mummy and Dracula.
No, well, the Dracula I haven't seen yet, but the Mummy is really, really nice. And in fact, I bought that inside the plane because I didn't want it to crush the box or anything. And it's pretty large. I mean, it was pretty cheap too. It wasn't that expensive. It was $39.
Wow.
And, it brings a coffin. But let me tell you though, that NECA they started making the Ultimate Frankenstein, which I think was one of the first intros. And that I had to wait like 4 months for that to come out. I thought they had kept my money. But I ordered that in the mail. But right now, the problem with that? They're over making it right now. But in about a year or 2 or 3, when they stop, they're probably going to be going through the roof in price.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to look on their website now to see when that
definitely
when that Dracula's coming out. I want to say it is the first week. Here we go. Let me click on it. They also have a Invisible Man, and I can't remember if that one came out already.
Is that the one that only has an empty package and it says Invisible Man?
Yeah, it's actually a really nice figure. It shows him in the suit with the bandages on.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That came out this month, November. I haven't seen that one yet. Which I'll definitely have to be on the lookout for that. And let's see the Dracula. It comes out, it should say. See, the Dracula says November too, but when I looked at another site and I thought it said like December 4th or something like that, or the 14th. I can't remember. I want to say it's not November. That wasn't. I could be wrong. It could be out on the stores now, but I want to say it was December.
Are they the same price in your area, Joe, as $25 each?
Yeah.
And I got mad about this yesterday. It's $25 up in my area, right? But in Florida, they were selling for $15.95.
Oh, wow.
That really pissed me off. And I go, it's Target. And I went to the customer service. They go, well, the Florida prices, we don't carry the same prices. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't carry the same prices. That's crazy.
Hey, now there is, I'm looking on their site, there is a Frankenstein accessory set that came out in August, and it's the it is the what do you call it? It's the table that he was set on, like the laboratory table, and there's a torch, an alternate head with just the bandages on it. And there's a blanket to put over him, like because you could actually strap him onto the table and then put the blanket over him. So that's really cool. I haven't seen that accessory set.
Joe, here's my question. Now, NECA makes the Ultimate Frankenstein. They make the regular Frankenstein in the other box. Is this for the ones that come carded in the big giant cardboard? Is that accessories kit for that Frankenstein, or is it for the Ultimate Frankenstein? Because that's something you got to check out too.
It's for the one where I think you have to the front of it kind of opens up like a book.
Okay, yeah, so that's right. Okay, that's the Ultimate Frankenstein, which is it's the same thing. It comes with 3 different heads.
That one.
Yeah, but the one that comes carded, I don't think that one has an accessory kit. That's why you kind of threw me off on that, because I'm like, what? I got to run out to Target. Thanks a lot, Joe.
But I haven't seen any of the accessory sets at any of the stores. So I don't know if they're just like maybe an online exclusive or something like that, but I haven't seen them.
You know, when you say, you remember those things that Aurora put out? There was like the monster scene, and there's one where it has like Frankenstein in the slab and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have Frankenstein, just a slab where he goes. I think I have one of those things. I think yesterday when I was in the storage, I looked in the back there, and I think in the box I saw that, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, I have to. It's funny the stuff that you discover you have that you don't even know you have.
Oh yeah.
The worst thing is when you go out of your way to buy it at an expensive price, only to find out you had 2 copies inside. That's a pisser, man.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, that's I've been on a treasure hunt this Thanksgiving, and it's driving me nuts not finding stuff that I want, and still no robot plants in the horizon, man.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Oh. I thought Joe was going to surprise me in Thanksgiving. Hey, Eddie, I got your plans, man. It's not happening, man.
Hey, you never know. It's still early. Maybe Santa will deliver them.
I've been thinking that way for the last 40 years. It's still early, man.
Yeah.
It's any time now.
I'm looking at on the neck, and I think the difference. No, I think they're all the Universal Monster ones are called Ultimate, because they all say that the Ultimate Frankenstein or the Ultimate Mummy. So I think that's,
you know, Joe,
I don't know why they put that in front of there. Maybe it's just because they come with several accessories.
Maybe that's why. But I gotta tell you, Joe, the artwork on those boxes is phenomenal, man.
I do have the King Kong one too. I was just looking that they have that.
Did you get the 2 versions of the King Kong?
No, I just got you know what? I don't know.
I bought the 2. There's one that looks like, you know, and then there's one that looks like the old movie in the 1930s. That's really a nice.
I can't remember. I'd have to look, but this one I'm looking at now, it's like kind of him beating his chest on.
Oh yeah. I have that. Yeah, I got that one. Did you get the Puppet Master?
No.
Oh my gosh, you got the Puppet Master. I didn't even care for it, but when I saw the action figure, I had to buy it, man.
I don't know if I've even seen those at the store yet.
They've been around. I bought them several months ago, so they've been on Target. You know what it is people, to find them in Target, you got to go where the TV is, not where the toy section is. You got to go to where the electronics and computers are, and they're in a wall right there. That's where they put all the NECA figures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because people look around the toy section. Somehow in toy section,
like the adult zone for adult toys.
Yeah. and they put all the. I mean, I still can't believe I don't like those poppets. What are they called?
Pop vinyls.
No, the pops. Yeah, I don't see what people even collect that junk. I don't like them. I don't know why people get so. My brother was just offered $10,000 in Florida for his collection, and he was sorting out the ones, whatever, to sell them. And I'm like, you know, the only reason I have any is because my brother keeps sending them to me, but I don't like pops.
Well, I tell you what, your brother could send them all to me, even the ones worth $10,000. But hey, guys, we got a minute to go here, so we're gonna wrap it up. We want to thank everybody for joining us from all over the world. Thank you for listening to us. Make sure you subscribe to us on any platform that you are listening to us on. Give us a good review. It definitely helps us get out there more. Check us out on YouTube, House of the Unusual. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos. Also, houseoftheunusual.com. That is our flagship site. We have a free forum on there. So make sure you check that out, interact with some like-minded people, post some photos of your collection or some of your favorite collectibles, because we always love seeing stuff like that. Or maybe you visited an interesting museum or place, post it on there, because we all definitely want to see it. And guys, we're here every week, so make sure you continuously check us out. And everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe, stay healthy, and make sure you eat a ton of food on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Happy
Bye, guys.
Thanksgiving.
Good night.
Happy Thanksgiving. God bless everybody.
God
Bye-bye.
bless. Gobble, gobble.
Bye.